Green Arrow issue 20, Benjamin Percy writing, and we have Eleonora Carlini and Mirka Andolfo on art. This is the third and final part of this reservation plotline with Arsenal and all this stuff, where it's having the flashbacks of young Arsenal when he was Speedy with young Green Arrow. So that's kind of wraps up this. I thought it was fine. I thought it was consistent with the last two issues. I definitely haven't been into this arc as much as some of the last couple, just purely based on the plot more than anything else. Because the actual Roy and Oliver's sort of like banter, their stuff together is quite good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the best part. Percy's known to be heavy-handed, and this is like he was wearing brass knuckles in this one.
Yeah, it was a bit, wasn't it?
Oh, super! And I feel like he was rushing to get everything into this one. I feel like an extra issue could have helped decompress a lot, because the Vertigo stuff it started in the last one and really comes to a halt here.
Yeah. Does this Vertigo mean that is this instead of the Vertigo we had in Lemire's stuff in the New 52?
I think so. I feel like this is retconning all of the Outsiders except for his sister, except for Emmy.
It's a real shame.
It is, because I love that stuff so much.
It could also be like multiple people have used Vertigo as a mantle.
Maybe, but I remember in that run they hadn't met. It sounded like they'd never met a Count Vertigo before.
Alright, okay.
And Vertigo here, it feels like they're the same though, because it's the brain implant.
Yeah. That's
doing it. So, I mean, timey-wimey, rebirth, the whatever, but still, it felt off. And I would understand them wiping the Outsider stuff under the rug.
But it's because you've got Emmy as such an important part of the run still.
Yeah. But you could still easily rate yourself out of that corner with the whole dad stuff. But anyways, he's super heavy-handed with the pipeline stuff and the sheriff and how it ties into Roy.
Yeah.
You know?
Because it was kind of weird, because it felt a little bit forced to me that in the last issue we learn about how he blacked out and he may have killed his adoptive father.
Yeah, whose name was revealed as Big Bo, which I didn't realize until now. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and then in this issue, like the very next issue, we find out, oh no, wait, I remember, it was the sheriff who did it.
Yeah. There was not enough time to sit on it, was there?
Yeah, it just kind of like, it really felt like it actually been introduced like an arc ago, and then we find out, like, have another arc, and then find out, and like, have it come out of nowhere almost.
And he still threw his adopted dad's dead body down a ravine.
He did.
He's so.
And I feel obviously because he had to deal with the repercussions of everyone thinking it was him, and we never really got to see any of that stuff. No. We never really got enough interaction with the people.
No. Not even his brother, who I feel like his brother could be a really solid character addition to, like, Oliver's growing army of sympathizers, because he's got the newswoman and some of the Seattle police, and now you extend it to the native population that kind of has his back too.
Yeah.
Like, just a lot of missed opportunities. It was still a good read, though. Like, you still get Black Canary on a dirt bike, zooming in.
That's true.
Canary cry.
And that's the thing. Like I say, it's a good read, but it feels like there's wasted potential. Like you just said about there with the Roy stuff, the Vertigo stuff. You know, that whole plot line with him looking at all the phones and stuff, and how everyone's connected to technology. It's like that feels like that could be a good arc on its own.
Yeah.
Well, that goes back to Percy's
half an issue
first.
Exactly.
You know, his first arc. So he's interested in that idea. So. And maybe we'll see it in the future.
I mean, maybe the point here is that we're going to get a Vertigo story down the line, and this is planting the seeds for what he's going to do when he comes up for a proper arc.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's a case of he knows he needs to have like the next arc last like so many issues and be done by a certain time that he had to like shorten one of them to make everything fit with the timeline or something like that.
Yeah, it could be.
And maybe that's what's happened here. I don't know. It's like I say, it's fine. It never really made me care about what they were fighting for, at the res. And I didn't really didn't really care about his adoptive dad or his brother all that much. It's like they seem fine, but there was never enough time.
It kind of feels like
I kind of want more though.
Yeah, definitely.
I want it to be fleshed out for Roy, because this is the most interesting I found Roy in some time. I mean, at least since he lost his arm in Cry for Justice. Like,
That's fair.
No one else tried to cry for justice. Cool.
No. But yeah, I mean, I like the end. I like at the end. He's like, right, Oliver, I hear you're in trouble. How can I help?
Yeah.
And that's cool because that sets up that he's going to be around for Rise of Star City, which is starting next issue. That's great. But I think for me, this arc it's not. I wouldn't put it quite as low as the Island two-parter, but I will say it's kind of going towards that direction of like the lesser part of this run for me.
It feels at the minute at least, it feels kind of like a filler arc. It's like we had to get Roy back on board, so we had to get those pieces in place.
And that's how we felt about the Island. We had to get them to that train. And then we got that train arc that was fantastic.
Yeah, once we got to the train was great, and it was like,
and that's how I feel like the stuff that comes out of this. If we get a Vertigo stuff, or even just Roy being around, that's probably going to be great, and it'll be worth it. But even
the stuff with the Rise of Star City. What does that mean? Like we saw those seeds a little bit, but
That means Seattle's becoming Star City, I think.
I know that, but like, how are they gonna tie that into the Burning Men and Broderick and now with this pipeline might seem like such a bad idea.
I can see how it'll tie into Broderick. I feel like the whole like the Rise of Star City will also be like a metaphor for the rise of support for Green Arrow, maybe, and it'll sort of it'll be opposing him, and the pipeline will probably tie in, and then obviously you've got the Ninth Circle and all that. They might be trying to like stop him still, and I can see how it'll all kind of click, maybe.
Oh no, I get that. I'm just saying, like, just to jump from there to here, it's.
It really does feel like these arcs, like the Island and this one, it's like, oh, hang on, we need these pieces in place for what we're doing next. Quick, let's just get them there, rather than it doesn't feel like it's an integral part of the story. It feels like it's just putting the pieces where it wants it for the actual story.
Yeah. It's like when you set up the game board,
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's also the least interesting part of playing a game.
And it's kind of infuriating when you have to go through 3 issues of that.
Actually, do you know what one moment kind of stuck out to me has been weird? See at the end, the last flashback, when Roy kind of saves the day, and then he's like, yeah, like, no one trusts me, including you, Oliver, and he storms off, and he's like, I need to go and be my own hero. I thought it was really weird how the last panel was Oliver sort of smirking and going, hope to see you again someday, kid. I was like, that just didn't fit with what just happened to me.
Well,
yeah.
I feel like that's him just being a shithead, for lack of a better term. Going like, I try to help you, you don't want my help. Go off, do whatever.
Maybe. I don't know. It stuck out to me when I read it. I was like, it feels a bit off. Like,
I did love the high point of this issue though was the banter in the beginning where he tells him that he's basically a bro superhero because he wears his hat backwards and the sunglasses.
Because he insults something about Oliver's costume. He's like, I'm taking costume advice from a guy who just wears a cap backwards.
Yep.
Which is a fair point.
Yeah. Says you're the 8th grader of superheroes, Roy. Your code name should be middle school bro. I laugh so hard at that because it's the truth. He stands out like a sore thumb. Although it is better than his, yellow Robin Hood hat. I'll take the backwards hat.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. Art's fine. I do miss both the usual regulars because I love Jean Ferreira, I love Otto Schmidt, but
my one problem as well was early on where Black Canary comes in on the bike. It's the 2-page spread at the bottom. It feels like it cuts off like really awkwardly, like where it is placed on her body. It kind of cuts off at her chest.
Yeah,
and it's just like I feel like I'm missing half a panel there.
Hold on, I'm investigating.
It's really strange. I don't know.
Like he could have. There's negative space up at the top of her head. He could have dropped it down a little so you get more of the handlebars there.
Yeah, just a little bit more, like because you get the bit above her head where it's the silhouette of her on the bike.
Oh right, aye. I'm seeing it.
I felt like, hang on, where's the rest of my page when I was looking at it?
That's a bit weird. I think that's more of a layout issue than anything else.
It is. But that's down to whoever part of that art is. That's
honestly,
on them.
I think it can still have the same amount of page. I think they just had to make her smaller and just make it feel more like a complete image.
Yeah. It felt really jarring.
Because I can see it working really well, because the bit above that's like a sort of side view and silhouette of her on the bike.
Yeah.
And I can see that working with this, the same kind of image underneath it, just a lot smaller, like in the same sort of frame. So it's more of a wider shot rather than a close up, is what you're essentially getting.
Yeah.
It's the composition.
They pushed in. Yeah, it was like they pushed in. Like if it's a film shot instead of actually shooting a close up, they just pushed in on a on a wide.
The funny thing is the next page with her actually using her scream on the bike is actually pretty cool.
It's fantastic.
Great, yeah.
Which is why that one really stuck out to me. It was just like, okay, that was weird.
That's fair.
But as far as issues go, it's pretty small.
That's definitely solid throughout. Otherwise, just obviously you miss the two others that are consistently doing fantastic work on the book for various reasons. Because I was kind of noticing, because I think with Jean, when John's not there, I miss the momentum and all the action. And because there was like a motorbikes thing in this, I was noticing that it wasn't as good as the chase sequences from the last arc.